Hi guys, Jill Blanchett with Green Thumb Stampers. I'm back. It's Friday. It's my Finally Friday series, and I'm going to show you a fun plaid background now that you can make with your grid paper and just a few markers. I showed it, well, I didn't show it, but it was on the cards that I made a couple weeks ago when I showed you how to use the strips of paper and then punch it out, and then it made two cards for you. Well, if you saw close enough on one of the samples at the end, that plaid background technique is what I'm going to show you today. So hang on, guys, or you're going to love it. Hello, I'm back with the same Christmas card that I had the other day, maybe last week, that I wanted to show you guys how to use the strips on. Well, this time I'm going to show you something different. And of course you are, Jill. Why would you show us the same thing? So today I'm going to show you what I did. I don't know if anybody noticed the background on this card last time, but I'm going to show you how you can do this background real quick and easy. So let's get started. I'm going to do this same card again. I'm going to finish one up that, of course, because I had the pieces from last time. So this card is 2 3/4 by 5 3/4 to go on my, it's basically a 6 by 6 piece of paper folded in half to make a small slimline card. So I got it like that. So what you're going to do, you need your paper, you need a ruler, and you need a variety of markers. And what I did was I went at an angle, kind of like so, when I did mine. So I just put a little dot of glue down. Now I tried this with my Stamparatus because this is actually where I saw the whole idea first. A lady posted quite a while ago of how to do it with your Stamparatus. I just kept getting my magnets in the way, and then I could not find my papers. I know I have a pack of the papers that lay down over the Stamparatus, and I was writing on it. Every time I drew a line, I was writing on my plate, and I didn't want to have to scrub it for fear that I would maybe with Goo Gone or Magic Erase or something, I didn't know if I would scrub something off that I didn't want to. So I went to the next best thing, which most of you are going to probably have, is some lined paper, some grid paper, and that's what I'm using. So I've put a little piece of glue down on my grid paper, and I just put my cardstock at an angle. And then you just want to take your ruler and then just start making a plaid. So I'm going to go across first, and so I'm going to start right here, just anywhere, start anywhere, and line up your ruler with the grid line, and then just draw a line. Then I counted 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically I started at 4, and then we're going every inch. So now we're an inch over, and I'm going to draw another line. Then I'm going to go an inch over, and I'm going to draw another line. And I could go fast, but when I was going faster, my marker is leaving a blob where I put it down and where I picked it up. So I'm just using a Sharpie here. If you have like an archival, real nice fine point pen, that would probably work too. Your Stampin' Blends, any kind of marker is going to work. Colored pencils. Okay, so now you see I've got the line at every inch. Now I'm going to come this way and do the same thing. Let's see if I can find let's start at the 5-inch line, because then we'll be on inches again, every inch. So we're going to go this way, 5, and then we're going to come to the next line, which 4 lines will be the 6. And then we'll go up to the next line. And again. And do we have room for one more? Yep. And then we're at the top. We don't really have room for another line. So now you've got your grid started. And then what I did was, you could use a couple different coordinating colors of marker. I just used a light cherry cobbler and a dark cherry cobbler. And I went through with my light first, and it doesn't matter which direction you go, but I wanted one line in front of my black one. So I'm going to come to my grid paper and I'm going to just go, see, one line in front. And then I'm going to come here, find the next line, and I'm going to go one line in front. And I'm just going to keep doing that across the paper. And I'll do my best when I edit this to see if I can figure out how to speed it up so that you don't have to watch me do all these. Or if you're watching well, you're going to be watching this on the replay, so just fast forward through these lines if you want. You're not going to miss anything. I'm not going to give away any secrets. So with my light, when I was looking at a couple samples, I only wanted to go one direction with the light. And then I'm going to come through and use my dark, and I'm going to go one line behind the black. Like this. Now you might have a stamp that can do this or something, but it's actually quite fun once you get the... I made a couple samples, of course, just to make sure that I could figure out how to do it. Okay, so I went up and down with the dark, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the light. And I'm going to go one line behind this one again so that I have some... See, if I went one line in front of, I would end down here and I would have white space. So I'm going to go one line behind so I don't have quite as much white space. So this grid paper is pretty handy. I've had it and I've used it for years and years and years, and this is probably the first time I've ever actually used it for something. I just have always just stamped on it before, and I've never used the rulers and such on it, so today's a first. Okay, so now I unhook it from my little blob of glue I put down there. And if I needed to flip it over and start over, that glue shouldn't have done too much, that little tiny splotch. I don't have my goober remover here, but that glue would come off if you needed to flip it over to use the back. So there we have it, guys. That's our homemade plaid. And then I'm going to finish my card for you so you could see how I ended up with this one. And I'll show you both of the... Remember the other day when I made this, I used the Christmas ball. And so I'm using the paper from the Celebration too, you guys. Celebration July 2021 actually is in August, is now live, and you can get this this paper in as one of your Celebration freebies. And I just love it, so I'm using it. So there we go. All right, that's done. I used that little ball, and here's the other one that I made with the other image. I stuck a little ribbon in there to give the sense of the ball a little better, and I stuck a ribbon on there. But that's the two cards that I made with the technique of making this strip and then punching it out a couple weeks ago. Isn't that just the coolest technique? Making this background, I'm so impressed with myself and my abilities, but it's nothing new, but I just thought it was really fun, and I've never done it before, and I thought I wanted to share it with you guys. So that's it. Have a great weekend, and I will be back here again next Friday.